Hello, everyone. Here, Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer. I'm back with another episode of the Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming Community Live Sessions. Today, I wanted to go on my profile so I can share this with more people. Please feel free to share this on your timeline with friends. The idea with this is to offer different lectures on a weekly basis to be able to share knowledge, information, tools to help people that might be struggling in different areas of their life. I've been studying the mind now for over 14 years, and I have been able to really figure out how it works and why we are behaving the ways that we're behaving, where we're acting in certain ways, what we're doing or not doing different things. So to be able to make changes in our life, we need to understand how the mind works, how it processes, why it's doing what it's doing, so that we are able to start making changes. So thank you very much for being here. If you're watching live, hashtag live, guys, that would be great. If you're watching replay, type hashtag replay so I know that you're there. I like the interaction, so I'm not just speaking here alone. So again, if you're watching at this, if you want to engage on social media, that would be great. The more you engage, the more people get to see this, and that's the idea, to share this knowledge, experience with as many people as possible, to help people reduce their pain through the challenges and the different things that they're going through life. So let's get going. Thank you very much again. So your past will determine your future if you don't deal with it. And I'm so sick and tired, guys, of listening to people saying the past is in your past and there's nothing you can do about it. So first of all, if we look at the past as something with a timestamp, of course it is in the past. Okay, if I think about what happened to me in the 1990s, or when it happened, what happened to me in the year 2000, 2010, yes, it is in a way in the past. But how the mind works, guys, you need to understand that it doesn't have past or present for the mind. For the mind, everything is running at the same time. So if right now in the computer, I have my Zoom working, I have OBS, another software working, I have Word documents open, I have Facebook open, all of this is happening at the same time. And maybe I opened Facebook, I don't know, 2 days ago, and I haven't restarted the computer, and I started Zoom right now. If we look a second for the computer, it's running right now. So whenever I connect with an unresolved issue from my past, maybe from a past memory, right, that was painful, that memory for the mind is happening right now. Hey, Bineda, how are you? Hope you're enjoying this. Thank you very much for saying hello. Hey, Romana, thank you for joining. So we need to understand that for the mind, it's running right now. If I close my eyes and I bring back a memory from my past, right, whatever it is, it's a funny memory, it's sad memory, it's a shame memory, whatever it is, guys, the mind is going to start running that memory here and now, right? So if I understand that, it's going to make it easier to understand that my past has an impact on my life today and on my future. And let me explain with examples so it makes sense, guys. Again, the past is not in the past as, okay, it's gone, there's nothing I can do about it. Yes, there's a lot we can do about it. And I want to talk a little bit deeper today. And this is why rapid subconscious reprogramming, the technique that I use, is so effective to so much people. Not to everyone, of course, I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I have a very success rate with the people that I work with because of the way I was taught this. I understand the mind and how to work around it. So imagine in my case, right, as when I was a kid, whenever I spoke up, whether it was at home, whether it was at school, I had different views around the world, around people, around everything, right? I have different points of view. I liked, questioning. So one of the things, imagine that when I was a kid, I loved magic, but for school, loving magic was meaning like I was going to be bullied or made fun of because I was different to what most people were doing. So being different, right, in a way had its costs, right? So I started learning as a kid, right, that whenever I spoke up, I said what came to my mind, I was many times judged, I was rejected, I was criticized, I felt pain. So I started associating, guys, that if I speak up, that is going to bring pain into my life. Look at this, guys. When I ever spoke up, that is going to bring pain. So if speaking up brings pain, what do you think I'm going to start doing to try to reduce the pain? Look at this again, guys. Speaking up brings pain. So what protective mechanism, guys, could I start creating to try to protect myself? Type that in the chat, guys. What could I start doing to try to reduce the pain? My performers come in waves. They crippled me some days. Thank you, Benito, for sharing that. Yes, for everyone, our memories come up. Most of the times we've learned, we became professionals in repressing. The problem is, Benito, as you were saying, it's crippled in some days. It is holding you back. Your past memories are holding you back because the mind, what it's going to do, is going to go back into the file and see what are the different circumstances you were in as a little girl that brought pain. So imagine, in my case, as I was saying, I spoke up, it brought pain. So, Benito, very good what you just said. I'm going to start avoiding speaking up, because if I speak up, I'm going to be judged, criticized, rejected. It's going to bring pain. And the mind is going to say, wait. If I shut up that way, I'm not going to be judged, criticized, or rejected. So it's going to avoid the pain. But on the other hand, I wasn't able to express myself. So it also is going to bring pain inside of me, because not being able to be me, authentic, even saying silly things or that seems silly, right, for a reason, instead of trying to, people asking me, tell me, why did you say this? Why do you think this? Why do you think that? Instead of exploring, people would just jump into conclusions, judge me, or criticize me, right? So I started avoiding things. I started avoiding people. I started avoiding situations. I started avoiding speaking up. And that, of course, again, it's not allowing myself to be me, guys. I'm repressing who I am. So that is also, in a way, going to hold me back, because look, guys, if I want to, I don't know, get into a relationship, I want to start my own business, I want to set a boundary, and I've learned that I need to avoid speaking up, because if not, it's going to bring pain. Guys, do you think that I'm going to be able to start a business, have a healthy relationship, or set good boundaries, healthy boundaries, if I have this avoidance mechanism in the first place? So my past is determining my current circumstances and my future. My past is going to determine my current circumstances and the future, because to avoid pain, yes, I'm going to avoid speaking up. And that is just one example, guys. Imagine how many protective mechanisms, how many behaviors we could have created during childhood to try to survive in this society, instead of being taught as kids that we're all different, that it's okay to be different, that it's okay to be making mistakes, that from mistakes we can learn. But instead, we were judged, we were criticized, we were rejected when we made mistakes. When we didn't get good grades, we were, I don't know, beaten up, we were called names, we were whatever, made things that made us feel bad. If we thought different, we were judged, we were bullied, we were criticized. All of those things, guys, start repressing who you really are. As we kids, when we're kids, we don't know who we are. We need the environment to help us discover who we are. But our parents didn't know this. Our friends didn't know this. The school system didn't know this. So everything around us, what taught us, and listen to this, guys, was to fit in. Type a 1 in the chat if this makes sense, guys. Our family, our system that we live in has taught us. Hey, Johnny, thank you very much. Hey, JP, thank you for stopping by too. The system has taught us how to fit in. And then we are wondering why we're stuck in life, why we struggle with relationships, why we struggle with our jobs, why we struggle with our business, with whatever area we're struggling, guys, is because you're playing it small. You're not truly being you. You might become, and look at this, guys, a people pleaser. Maybe you're trying to please people to be liked, to be loved, to be accepted, to try to prevent people from judging you and criticizing you. So look at this. That could be another protective mechanism. If I please people, people are going to be happy about me. And what's going to happen? They're not going to judge me, criticize me, or reject me. So in a way, I'm not going to feel pain. But guys, if I'm falling into becoming a people pleaser, many times I'm not going to really do what I want. I'm not going to speak up and say what I want. I'm not going to pursue what I want because it's weird and it's going to make me feel uncomfortable. And there's big chances that somebody can judge me and criticize me. So then again, my future is going to be one where I'm playing it small, where I'm fitting in, because that's what I was taught in my past. So if I don't deal with my past, that are also, of course, it includes my negative emotions. Whenever I was bullied at school, I felt frustrated, I felt stressed, I felt anger, I felt shame. All of those things, guys, were also impacting me today and keeping me small. So if I didn't deal with that, it was going to be very difficult to become more of the person that I am and be able to pursue what I want, even when it goes against most of the people around me. And not in a bad way, guys, because again, we also have the people pleaser. And on the other end of the spectrum, guys, and this is, it doesn't need to be black or white. There's a many, different colors in between, right? The other thing is that people start rebelling to the system. When people start rebelling to a system, one thing is to rebel because you truly deeply want to do something different. But a lot of people rebel to the system as a way to try to feel that they're in control. I'm going to repeat that again, guys. A lot of people rebel to the system in an attempt to try to feel that they are in control. So if they're in control, of course, right, they need to rebel. But the truth is they're rebelling out of fear of being controlled. So they're still slaves of fear. So they're not truly rebelling from a place of love, saying, okay, what is best for me? What do I really want? And this is something very difficult to differentiate, guys, but this is what happens many times. People fall into people pleaser, yes, or others fall into rebellion. But there can be both of them in a person's life. In some areas, you might rebel, and in some areas, you might fall into people pleasing. In relationships, in my case, guys, I fell into people pleasing in relationships, right? But when it had to do maybe with business, with other stuff, I would rebel. I would go against what everybody was telling me. Seriously, I had my parents not supporting me. I had my friends not supporting me. And I still went down that road. I rebelled, but I rebelled from a place of, again, right, anger, pain. I didn't rebel saying, okay, this is the best thing for me. I really want this. No, it was trying to prove others that they were wrong. I did it from a place of pain, and that brought more pain. So it was till I started working on my past, guys, dealing with my past, understanding it, releasing all the emotions attached to that past of suffering. It was when I finally was able to start connecting with my true self, understanding what I truly want from a place of, peace of mind. There we go. And am I there all the time? No, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I have my ups and down moments. I have my moments where I might, try to rebel to something just out of pain, but I try to connect without understanding. So I end up doing what's best for me or what's best for others from a place of true love, true connection. Because again, being a people pleaser brought me a lot of pain. To give you an idea, guys, when somebody came up with some cookies, right, a Tupperware with cookies, and there were left a couple of very little amount, I would always say no. I couldn't take from somebody something that was, maybe the amount was very little. I didn't feel that I deserved taking away maybe the last cookie or the, if there were two cookies, the one before the last. I felt uncomfortable. And on other areas, again, that brought pain, guys. I couldn't be my authentic me. And on the other hand, I would really do what others told me to do. I would do the opposite just to rebel. And all people think that rebelling is true freedom. No, guys, because if you're rebelling not to feel control, it's still a way of control. You're controlling, not being controlled. So still a place of rebellion can be a place of not freedom. Yes. Look at this, JP. I felt obligated to offer first before having the last one. There you go. You see? So each one of us have their own behaviors that we created as protective mechanism. Those behaviors come from past experiences. So the mind, guys, and I want to wrap this up with this to understand, the mind is going to look into past experiences to see what we went through to decide what's the best course of action today. So if in my past, each time I spoke up, I was bullied, I was judged, I was criticized, it brought me a lot of pain, I didn't know how to deal with that, I will shut up today more times than not. Why? Because I need to protect myself, so I don't speak up. Maybe I need a raise, or I want a raise, and I don't have the courage to go ask for a raise. Or if I'm starting a new job and they offer me X amount of money, I say yes right away. You know, I don't even think about it because, you know, I don't feel that I can go into negotiations, right? So I rapidly say yes to anything, people asking favors, job offers, you know, not asking for a raise, because in a way, I don't want to feel like crap if I ask for a raise and they don't give it to me, right? So I start avoiding things, and this is what a lot of people, and then we call it procrastination maybe, right? But the truth is, procrastination is the byproduct of something much deeper. Of what? Of our unresolved issues from the past. I'm not going to go in depth on how to deal with our unresolved issues. I've said it many times. We're going to deal with that again later in another video, right? But starting with the questions that I always teach: how do I feel? Why do I feel this? How does this make me feel about myself? To start identifying what is going on today. From there, we need to start connecting with our past experiences. So again, if the mind has gone as a kid, if I have gone through a lot of pain as a kid, whenever I spoke up, when I was authentic, when I was me, I started learning that I couldn't be me, that I couldn't speak up, that I could just fit in and play small, because that's what I was taught when I was a kid. So I need to go back and deal with those past memories, release the negative emotions, understand the false beliefs that were created back then, and then, and only then, guys, the mind is going to be ready to accept new information, not affirmations, information, guys, to be able to start making changes. I've done that. I've done it now for the past 14 years, guys, and I have changed so much that is really unreal how much I have changed my life since then, since I started doing this job. Is it an overnight work? Not at all. The mind needs time, understanding, support, love, so they can start healing, changing the beliefs from the past, so that we can start having a different future, right? A different circumstance today and a different future. But if we keep, you know, not dealing with our past experiences, not dealing with our beliefs from our past, the emotion from the past, unfortunately, we're going to keep playing it small. We're going to keep repeating the avoidance of whatever we're doing, the behaviors. We're not going to get rid of the behaviors just by trying to force ourselves to get rid of the behavior. The mind created that behavior as a protective mechanism in the first place. So fighting against a protective mechanism, normally, guys, for most people, I'm not going to say all, but for most people, it's going to bring more of that behavior, because that behavior was created in the first place normally from a lack of love. So look at this, guys. Whenever somebody judged me, criticized me, or judged me because I was saying something different, because I was acting a little bit different than most people, I felt a lack of love. I didn't feel loved. So avoidance is a protective mechanism. Procrastination, avoidance, people pleasing is a protective mechanism to the lack of love. The lack of love created the protective mechanism. So if I don't like my protective mechanism, I'm disliking myself, the part of me that created it in the first place. So if I dislike myself for having that behavior, and that behavior is there from a lack of love, what do you think is going to happen, guys? Am I going to be able to disarm that behavior, or am I going to bring more of that behavior? Type it in the chat: disarm or bring more of that behavior by hating that behavior, by judging that behavior. What do you think is going to happen, guys? Am I going to bring more or not from that behavior? Am I going to disarm the behavior, or am I going to bring more of that behavior? And the truth is, guys, as you're writing, there we go. We're going to bring more of that behavior. That is why I don't like what a lot of gurus, personal development gurus out there are teaching, that you need to change your state, force yourself, whatever, because it's not working, guys. That's not loving. If my kid is sad, I don't need to force him to change. I don't need to push him to change. I need to understand why he feels sad. And for sure, again, one of the main things that drive human behavior is seeking for love or numbing the pain from the lack of love. From there, all our behaviors stem, guys. Being a people pleaser, it could be, again, seeking for love. If I'm a good person to you guys, you're going to love me back. So that's going to bring me love. It's a seek of love. Procrastination is a way to protect myself from feeling pain from the lack of love. So judging or criticizing myself, hating a behavior is not going to change the behavior. Throwing positivity into the mind to change a behavior is not going to change the behavior. The mind is acting this way because it's lacking something. It could be feeling valued, feeling appreciated, feeling, at the end of the day, feeling loved, feeling worthy, feeling special. So it created that mechanism to try to feel special by seeking something, or preventing from feeling pain from the lack of that. So what it actually needs is love, appreciation, support, understanding, feeling worthy, feeling valued. So one of the biggest things that I teach, guys, is accept and love the part of you that is having that toxic behavior, that negative behavior. Next chat could be exactly about negative behavior, toxic behaviors, and how to start changing it a little bit deeper. Okay, so in this video, I want to share with you guys that we need to understand that our past is going to determine our future, because according to what we've learned as kids, and that's got cemented into the subconscious mind as the truth. If I'm not a good person in relationships, if I'm not the good guy, if I'm not the people pleaser, people are not going to love me. People are not going to accept me. That's what I created in my mind as a kid. So I went out into the world trying to please everyone, and it drained me, guys, and it kept me playing it small all the time because it wasn't what I wanted. I was always seeking what others wanted. When I truly, really started looking to what I wanted, of course, balancing out, sharing with others, all of that, so that I don't become, a selfish person. Of course, I take care of me to be able to take care of others, guys. This is very important to understand. But if I don't deal with my past experiences, the pain from there, the beliefs, understanding what happened, and from there work towards changing it, it's going to be very difficult. I see this over and over again. I get calls every week where I talk to people, new people. I've been doing this now for many, many years, helping thousands around the world. And I see people over and over again telling me, Tommy, but I tried prayers, I tried affirmations, I tried meditation, I tried hypnotherapy, I tried this, I tried that. Nothing seems to work. Yes, because again, affirmations doesn't work. You're telling the mind how to think. The mind doesn't like to be told. Think about that consciously, guys. Most people don't like to be told if they're doing something wrong. No, we're not the exception, guys. So the mind doesn't like to be told what to do. But by understanding, supporting, bringing the right information, the mind can get that it needs to change, but by choice, not by force. In many cases, what I see in talking about hypnotherapy, that hypnotherapy is a way of forcing the mind to change. Oh, you got to think like this. You got to think like that. They try to put these things in the mind so the mind starts believing this new thing. That, for me, what I believe in those type of cases, when it is done in that way, guys, I believe that that goes against free will, because you're being told what you got to think. You're trying to convince yourself to think that. They're putting some suggestive things inside of your mind to try to make you think that. No. Why don't we have a chat, see what your mind believes in, and work to bring information so the mind decides to change the way it thinks. Doesn't that make more sense, guys? Yes or no in the chat. Say yes, type yes or no in the chat if that makes more sense, guys. Please share in the chat. Yes, we had a no there. We'll address that in a little bit. when we bring affirmations, when we bring something that we want the mind to think, look at the words that I'm using, we're wanting the mind to think, in a way we're going against the free will of that person. Because it's not about me making you think in a specific way. It's you choosing to think in a specific way. Look at the words there, guys. It's helping you choose to think in a different way. But to do that, we need to access the subconscious mind. A lot of people tell me, but Tommy, how do I access the subconscious mind? Those are your past memories. Your past memories created the beliefs in the subconscious mind. A big part of the subconscious mind is made up of your past memories. So your past will determine your future if you don't deal with it. And deal with it is not just speaking about it or bringing positivity or, things like, as I mentioned before. No, you need to understand what happened during childhood that created those beliefs, why you created those beliefs, those behaviors, and then start giving to yourself what you were seeking back then that you didn't get, that created those behaviors. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Let me know in the chat. Type a 10 in the chat if you're liking this, if it makes sense. Again, please, guys, if you can share this on social media with more people. Again, I'm giving this a lot of free value. I want to help as many people as I can, right? I struggled for many, many years of my life. I struggled for more than 30 years of my life, right? Since I was a very little kid, I struggled. I didn't feel understood. I didn't feel supported. I felt judgment, criticism. My parents did the best they could. I'm not judging them, guys. Don't get me wrong. This is what I felt. And they were trying to be loving, but they had their limitations. They had their own unresolved issues. They had their way of seeing life. And that for me was very painful because my way of seeing life was very different. I was very emotional. My mom would tell me, oh, you're too emotional. You're too emotional. That was not a curse. I thought it was a curse. And that created for many years me trying to repress my emotions because I thought it was a curse. But now, and when I started this path 14 years ago, I've learned that it is a gift that I have because it's through my emotions I can connect with other people and help them out. And this is what I want to do, guys. Help as many people as I can, even for free, okay, with these teachings. So thank you very much again. I'll be finishing the training here on Facebook. Let me know if you liked it. Comment there, guys. Engage, show me some love. The more you react with this, the more people get to see it. And that's the idea with all of this, guys. The more people we can help. So thank you very much. With your engagement, just that, you're helping more people, guys. So if you can do that, that will be awesome. So thank you very much. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you maybe Wednesday on the Entrepreneur Unleashed training that I do on Wednesdays on the live group. If you want to be part of it, just type out here #community, #free, it doesn't matter, and I'll give you access. I have a free membership, no money, right? There's just your time to help you out, guys. I want to help as many as I can. So thank you very much again. I'll stay here on Zoom with the people that are also joining us here and staying a little bit longer. So thank you very much, guys. Take care. See ya. Bye.